A young girl named Emma wandered the cold city streets, shivering in her thin clothes. Homeless and desperate, she had just been thrown out of another cafe for being too smelly. As she stood sadly on the pavement, another cafe owner across the road noticed her. "Hey, cut it out! You can't just throw a child out like that," she shouted. She then turned to Emma with concern. "Good grief. How are you out here with no coat? Where are your parents? Come inside, love." Emma stepped into the small cafe, grateful to escape the biting wind. The cafe owner, a woman with kind eyes, brought a thick blanket and a hot cup of tea to Emma. "Here you go, sweetheart," she said softly, wrapping the blanket around Emma's frail shoulders. "You're safe here. Stay as long as you need. I'll call the authorities to get you some proper help." Tears filled Emma's eyes. For the first time in days, she felt cared for. That small act of kindness stayed with her long after she left. 30 years passed. The cafe, once busy and full of life, was now on the verge of closing down. The owner, weighed down by debt, was ready to lock up for good. But just as she was about to close the cafe for the final time, the doorbell rang. A smartly dressed woman walked in, her face full of purpose. "I'm Emma," the woman said. "You probably don't remember me, but 30 years ago you gave me a blanket and a cup of tea when I had nothing." Before the cafe owner could respond, Emma handed her an envelope. "Your debt paid in full 30 years ago." Inside was the exact amount needed to save the cafe. The cafe owner was stunned. Tears welled up as Emma smiled. "You see," Emma said gently, "my life wasn't always like this. We used to be well off and people loved my family. But when my parents died, I lost everything. People I thought I could trust abandoned me, and some even hurt me. I ended up on the streets, freezing, thinking I would die. But that day you were the only person who saw me, even though I was dirty, smelly, and had nothing. You didn't turn me away. You saved me. It reminded me that even in my darkest moments there was kindness in the world. It pushed me to keep going, to work hard, and make something of myself. Eventually I started my own business, and now I'm able to help others." She smiled, her eyes filled with gratitude. "You paid my debt in full all those years ago with a warm blanket and a cup of tea. Today I'm just returning the favor."